Okay, I'm Dr. Dilworth and you're not, and we're listening to The Dark Party. And who am I talking to over here?
Crash Davidian.
Crash Davidian. Okay, hello. And I know you're looking at your stuff online and such. I thought you were a duo.
Well, Crash Davidian started out last year, and it began as a duo.
Yeah.
Between me and one of my friends, Monty, and we got together basically because we each had our little projects going on, and we were very sick of what we were doing because we've been doing it for a while. So we got together and we wanted to create some music, do something that didn't sound like his stuff, and then stuff that didn't sound like my stuff. And we listed our influences, and then we went into his studio and off we went.
Sure.
Yeah, and it was great. I mean, we wrote the songs together. There's no like he did this or I did this. We came in, we wrote the music. He layered one thing, I layered another thing. We would sit there and we would, both write the words, or I'd come in with lyrics and we'd change stuff around. He'd sing a vocal melody, I would. So it was very 50-50, which is really what I really wanted to do.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how it started.
And I am talking currently then to Dave.
Yeah, that's me, Dave.
Yes, indeed, Dave.
Yes.
So, in fact, I have a couple of those songs you suggested, and they're from Bandcamp. One of them is Passion of Rage and Pain Needs Suffering. What do you think, just to get a taste of what Crash Davidian has been so far, which one should we play?
Passion of Rage was the very first one we wrote. So I would say if you're going to play something, play that one.
Okay, we'll play it now.
There's not enough voltage in this world. There's not enough.
is pretty deceptive. Well, I think that we are all in the same stream.
like it a lot.
So now it's just you, Dave, not both
Yeah.
of you.
At the tail end of last year, Monty decided he didn't want to go forward with Crash Davidian, and I wanted to at least try and do some shows for 2025 because we recorded this music, and then we recorded the other single, Pain Needs Suffering.
Yeah.
And we were in the process of recording more songs with the goal of making an album for next year. And he decided he didn't want to do it for whatever his reasons were.
Sure.
I mean, I have an idea what it is. So next year, 2025, I decided to just, let me start booking shows. Let me try and maybe find another partner to work with. Mm-hmm. And I asked a few people, and one of them that I went with was my friend Ollie, and she did a couple shows with me.
Yeah.
She, we went to the studio, her little studio that she had, and we were working on some mixes of some of the older Crash Davidian songs to be used for live performance. And we ended up writing a song, which will be the song Edge of Apathy, which is going to be the new single, hopefully released this month.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but I think you're going to do like a live version of it.
I will be doing a live version here.
That's cool and exciting. Wow. Okay. So we're going to hear some new music here from Crash Davidian. In fact, let me ask this. When I hear the band name and when I saw the band name Crash Davidian, I just think of two things. I think of J.G. Ballard, I think of Crash, and then I think of the Branch Davidians and the folks in Waco and David Koresh and all that. What is the origin of your name?
It's more towards the Branch Davidians.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. I've told people Crash Davidian, and they have no idea who the Branch Davidians are.
That's wild.
It's pretty wild. I mean, it's kind of a big deal.
It sure is. I mean, considering what happened in Waco, it was 93 or 94. I don't remember exactly, but it happened in the 90s. And to give a brief summary, there was this guy named David Koresh. He was the leader of this religious Christian cult in Waco. And he was, needless to say, he was a creep, and he had a standoff, and there was a bunch of guns. And then the FBI came in and blew it up, and there's a lot of people who died, unfortunately.
Yeah. The interesting thing, though, is that the Branch Davidians did not start with him.
No.
It was with, I think, a husband and wife who started it. I might be getting my religious cults mixed up.
Sure.
But I do know that David Koresh wound up taking the Branch Davidians and going his own way with it. So I do not think it started out as the gun-toting, I'm going to sleep with every woman.
Yeah, but it became,
the complex. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I have no idea if it's a husband and wife duo that started it, but he did take it from them and went his own way.
Wow,
So,
there it is.
There it is.
What other earlier musical projects have you done? You were talking that you did a radio show for a while. What other stuff have you done with music?
I played with a lot of bands. I've had my own little projects that I've done. The radio show I did, which I think started from 2018 up until 2020.
Yeah.
It was kind of the same setup as this.
Oh, sure.
Had my own show. I played whatever I wanted. A lot of the other DJs kind of had their punk show and their electronic show and their rockabilly and their goth industrial. And I figure I don't think this radio station needs another one of those. So I pretty much just played a very eclectic, vast array of artists that I enjoyed. We would go from like the Walker Brothers, Elvis, Ricky Nelson, and we'd play like, Einstürzende Neubauten.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, just kind of, and maybe some pop stuff too, like Kylie Minogue or whatever. I figure, maybe somebody who likes the electronic music will have never heard of Kylie Minogue and be like, oh, this sounds pretty good,
That's genuinely possible.
Yeah, it is possible because everything starts to cross over. As far as music, I had my own thing before, which was the dramedy, and I worked with that quite a lot for many years. I played bass and guitar for Caroline Blind from Sunshine Blind.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. We she asked me to back her up on some of her solo shows, and this was around maybe 2018, 2019.
Cool.
George Earth from Switchblade Symphony, he played guitar.
Oh, wow, yeah, I know who that is. Cool.
Yeah. He actually lives in Los Angeles.
That makes sense,
Yeah. Funny story is that when Caroline told me that, we're going to get George Earth on guitar and you're going to play bass, and I said, okay, cool. I went to this bar called Little Joy, and bartender comes up, asks what I wanted to drink. I, gave him my order. Then I gave him my card. He turns around to charge it. Then he turns around. He's like, "Wait a minute. Do you know Caroline Blind?" I said, "Yeah, I'm playing bass for her." And he's like, "I'm George Earth."
Oh,
nice to meet you.
wow.
Yeah, it was such a surprise.
That's weird,
Yeah.
but that's how it is. I mean, certain places in the Bay Area, but especially LA,
Yeah.
they're like little towns, and scenes are small,
Yeah.
and you just end up falling into people and meeting them. It's weird.
Right. It's very weird. You could run into Davey Havoc at the gas station.
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
Yeah. I mean that's just, and it's just how it is.
Yeah. So many projects. Those are just a couple that I've done. But always.
now your main focus is Crash Davidian.
Now it's Crash Division because this is the thing I worked in last year. This is the thing that's on my mind right now, and hopefully I could do something with it.
Oh, totally,
Yeah,
totally.
hopefully,
I know that you've been doing shows down in the LA area. I mean, it's fair to call it the LA area, and
Yeah.
and coming up to the Bay as well. And you've been doing that for last 6 months or so, 8 months or so, right?
Yeah, I mean, I try and get as many shows outside as possible, outside of LA.
Sure.
LA is just, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
just very weird, and maybe it's because I've been living there for so long.
Sure.
The networking is it's the music scene as a whole is like high school.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
And that could probably go out to life in general.
Certainly.
You have your cliques, and if you're not part of the clique, whether you're in, you're doing underground music, if you're not part of the clique, you're not part of the clique.
Sure.
And you kind of have to question yourself, do you want to be part of the clique, or do you want to try and go your own way? And a lot of times, a lot of people say, oh, you got to network and you got to keep doing this. But what do you do when you don't necessarily get along with, the network that's established?
Fair.
Yeah, and I do believe a lot of people can relate to that, and a lot of people can't relate to that. I can only tell my story. But yeah,
Truly.
I try and play as many places as you can. I like being a working musician. I like being a working artist. Going up to Portland to do a show.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That's pretty soon, right?
Well, I did play there last month, or in May, since we're in July.
Yes.
And in October, I will be doing a Pacific Northwest tour.
Nice.
Again, up in, Portland, Eugene, Seattle, and Bay Area wise later this month at the Knockout in San Francisco on July 29th.
Oh yeah. That's a cool. That is a cool venue, a cool spot. And
Yeah, and there's a lot of cool bands that are going to be playing. We got The Tunnel, Violator, who...
I know Violator. Yeah.
He hasn't played in over a year.
Exactly.
And there's Black Bibles as well.
Know them too.
Yeah. So, and then, before that, Friday, July 25th, I'll be in San Luis Obispo.
San Luis Obispo. They got good barbecue there, among many other things. Oh, for real, there's good barbecue there, and they have surprisingly a pretty good scene down there, and the clubs there are neat.
That's what I've heard. I played with one of the artists down there, two of them actually, and they liked what I did, and they told me, "Hey, can we book you here? There's a really big electronic scene out there."
Truly, there is.
And and if you look at it, it's like, oh, here's this person's playing here, this person's playing here, this person's playing here, and it's a lot of pretty cool electronic or industrial, even metal bands.
Yeah. As you said before, the lines start to blur in some ways, and I kind of appreciate that that's starting to happen more and more. I mean, of course, there's a sort of aesthetic, dark wave kind of gothy thing, but EBM is still good music, industrial is still good music, whatever it is. But there's a certain aesthetic, such as this. But we go for it. We try to go with what we got.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Definitely 100% on that. Yeah.
And how about this? Do you want to play a song, or how do you want to do the songs?
Sure. I'll play a song. I'll start out with the new single, "Edge of Apathy."
Edge of Apathy. Okay, so this part I'm probably going to edit out because I'm going to kill my mic and I'm going to kill your mic, and I have pot 13 and 15 ready.
Okay.
I'm going to kill that pot and kill.
There was a time, but now the time has passed me by. No turning back. The perfect picture starts to crack. I Oh well, they're never gonna break the spell. All alone, now that my cover has been blown. Can't survive, won't survive. Every step is a step to be crucified. I walk the line on the edge of apathy. I want the truth with a fire made up of lies. And now I say that it was me that brought down everything. I walk the line on the edge of apathy. Permeates like rotten meat, this sense and feeling of hypocrisy. Avoiding all the signs, crisis on the rise. Watch my world fall, watch my world die. Wrestling with purity, it's a case of mistaken identity. I walk the line on the edge of apathy. I burn the truth with a fire made up of lies. And now I see that it was me that brought down everything. I walk the line on the edge of apathy. From the top to the ground, spread the blood all around. In a world made up of ice with an iron fist that's in disguise, I walk the line on the edge of apathy. I burn the truth with a fire made up of lies. And now I see that it was me that brought down everything. I walk the line on the edge of apathy. 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 On the edge of apathy. I walk the line on the edge of apathy.
KPCR thanks Organized Life by Roxana for supporting the Signal Society. Members receive $75 off services and a free in-person consultation. Join at kpcr.org/join. So that was The Edge of Apathy by Crash Davidian, and they are in, well, he is, well, we could say they.
Yeah, you can say they.
They are here in the studio in Pirate Cat Radio in beautiful Los Gatos, California, along with me, Dr. Dilworth. Mm-hmm. So, damn, that was good. You got a set of lungs on you, man. That's cool.
Thank you. I'm like I said earlier when we met, naturally a loud singer.
Yes.
And I don't know, I really like grabbing that energy.
Yeah.
And portraying it, and I don't know. It's just something, I think, more of a live situation first, as opposed to a recording situation. Sometimes it kind of gets mixed up because when I'm in the studio recording vocals, I'm like, oh, I get too into the live stuff, and like, well, okay, well, off key there a little bit, off key, you know.
Well, I mean, you can always adjust that, but you can't adjust the fact if you don't know how to use your voice, if you don't know how to use your diaphragm in your throat and really just sing, and then some people just don't.
Yeah, and it's also hard. I think a lot of people what they don't realize is you have to find your own voice.
Yes.
And it took me quite a bit to find this style that I'm singing in right now. And I've tried so many different ways. And, the more I tried, the better, and the more I got close to it. And I finally said, oh, this actually feels comfortable.
Yeah.
It's like I'm ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
absolutely.
not self-conscious about it. It's just like, okay, I'm here, so...
Well, I'm going to say, I dig the fact it's so dynamic and it has a good, all your songs, the ones I've heard so far at least, they have good pounding, just forceful rhythms and they're good. They're there's good dance music, but also you're saying interesting things in them.
Oh, thank you.
Sure. So what is it that you feel that song is about? Walk the Line, the edge of it.
I mean, I think when I write a song, I usually grasp onto a feeling, and then sometimes I write the words, they are connected to it, or they just sound good to me at the moment. As far as Edge of Apathy, I think it was more, at least the feeling I got when I was writing the words was that it's kind of like hiding and you're trying to be something you're not. And you're walking that edge, just trying. And when really you don't want to, you don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to talk to people. You put this mask on. You really just do not want to be around anybody. And that's the main feeling I, got for the song when I wrote it.
I can appreciate that. And I'm sure a lot of people can. I mean, that's how I felt this morning.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes that's how I feel every day.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, being really real. Yeah. Just kind of dealing with modern life and the many terrible and horrible things that are happening.
Yeah. And definitely, I mean, a lot of us are, and whether it's you're talking about the political climate or just your mentality towards everyday life, we always do put up a mask, and it becomes very hard. And maybe lately it's a lot harder for a lot of people to do it. And sometimes they don't have an outlet, sometimes they can't afford therapy. Sometimes they need meds, but they don't know what the stigma is going to be with their family or friends. And that plays a lot into things. So people they just put this mask on and they try to just look like they're okay. And sometimes they're not. So everybody pay attention to the people around you.
Oh no, truly, really, truly, because if you're not, things going to happen.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
No, it's horrible how it is, but that's life.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Well, let me ask this. So, that's just one of my habits. Let me ask. Well, of course, you're gonna let me, but
no, I'm not gonna let you ask anything.
All right. Well, then we'll duel outside, but we'll record it.
Yeah.
So.
Go ahead.
Oh, of course. So basically, then you create all the backing tracks. What's your setup? What's your gear? What
Actually,
your equipment?
Truth be told, I usually kind of have an idea, and when I went with the other people, they had most of the equipment.
Fair enough.
And that's why with Monty. He had his own studio, and he was very, very, very well versed in his equipment and gear. We would go in there. He would have everything set up. I would do a drum beat on the drum machine. He would do something on the synth. I would do something over it. As far as my setup, I'm really very bare bones. Really very bare bones, where it's just I have I'll use a guitar to write a melody, or I have a MIDI keyboard to write just basic stuff, and then I would go, okay, come in. If I have it recorded, maybe play the recording, or I would just come in and go, okay, this is what I have for this song. This is the idea I came up with, and we play with it and we see what it is. So a lot of the music, I mean, with the first two singles, the first set of songs, me and Monty did them 50%. With the new one, Edge of Apathy, Ali, the girl I was working with, she wrote a lot of the music.
Sure.
She wrote a lot of the music on her own, which was cool. And then I went in and we fiddled around with it, made an arrangement, put some filters through it, some EQing.
Oh, of course, sure.
Added this thing, added a key change here, especially for the chorus part.
Oh yeah, that's effective. That really made it.
Yeah, we need the key change here. We need some kind of melody line here. We need a kind of a hooky synth right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how it came out. And I came in with the words. and that even also had to be butchered.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Between us, we butchered it, and that's what came out, Edge of Apathy, and it's really cool. I mean, from how it began and how it turned out now, it's a lot better now.
Oh, sure,
Yeah.
sure. Dig it,
Yeah,
dig
yeah.
it. So that's sort of your process as well.
Yeah.
That basically you're taking the idea and you're kind of you're merging it and you're coming together with it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I like to collaborate with people. I like to work with people. When I got into music, I always wanted to be in a band, and unfortunately, you meet people that don't share your vision.
That's true.
And then you end up playing with another band, and it's great until there's a crossroad, and then you leave. And but yeah, I've always wanted to be in a band, collaborate with people.
Yeah.
Split the songwriting. How many ways?
Yeah,
2 ways, 4 ways, 3 ways. Because I think it's great. Because I'm aware that I am limited with my musical abilities.
Sure.
And somebody could come in and bring it to the next level, which then could jumpstart what I think to bring to the next level. And the same goes to the other person. They could go and write something, but then I could say, oh, why don't you try this? And that opens up a bunch of doors, where I'm working by myself, which I have been, I go up to a certain point.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, I guess this is how it's going to be, because I have no sounding board. There's nobody to bounce off of. So I really like to collaborate, and I have been collaborating with some people recently, and we're making some good stuff, and hopefully that will come out soon.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know and keep you in the loop.
Please do.
Yeah.
What was that next question I was going to ask? I'm having a brain fart. See, some of this I will add it out. I mean,
All in.
to do that, no. Oh no, dang.
Right. Right.
So then, you said that you're doing the Pacific Northwest tour. You're touring California, and this is a challenge that a lot of creative people have. I'm a creative person. I just don't do this radio thing. I'm writing and performance art and other kinds of art, right. But I still have a day job, shall we say? Yeah. Is that you're able to use your creative stuff to have that as your day job, or are you still kind of balancing it?
It's a balancing act. I very fortunate have a day job that is very, 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 very flexible.
Nice.
With my creative endeavors. So I'm able to, do some out of town shows.
Yeah.
And it enables me. And I know I understand a lot of people don't have that.
Yes.
I know the way things are with music for the last few years, you kind of have to have your own resources. You have to create a budget.
Yes.
You have to, basically, if you got on tour, you kind of have to treat it like a vacation, where you budget for your vacation, but you play shows. Instead of seeing the tourist stuff, you play shows.
Yeah.
And you always have to assume that you're not going to make some money, and you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Because you could have all the merch. You have really great merch. Mm-hmm. You could do a really, kicking show.
Yeah.
But if you don't sell any merch, it's like, well, it happens sometimes. People like it and they don't. And you kind of have to have your budget going on and say, okay, we didn't make any money this show, or we only made this much at the door, so you have to create a budget to do that. So that's kind of how I've been doing it for the last few years, and especially now with this, and that's what it is.
Well, sure, it's reality, and that is something I do say. When you go to a show, try to buy some merch, get a T-shirt, get some stickers, get a record, buy something.
Right. I mean, it helps out a lot, because the door, sometimes some venues, they could get really screwy.
Oh, sure.
Sure. And so yeah, just prepare. You make a budget, do what you can, because just assume that you're not going to make anything from your creative part. Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, some people would say don't have that attitude, but that's how the world is. It's
pragmatic, and you're trying to get your music out, and you're still doing it despite all of this, which is the awesome thing, and I think wonderful.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do? You're going to go home and, well, I mean, we could all just be still at home playing video games right now.
We could, and I don't know. It's the whole game, the whole playbook is out the window.
Oh, it is.
The last few years. So anything you just do anything you want. basically. Whatever works within your means and your budget, just do that.
Yeah.
And you can't follow what other people say, because whatever worked for one artist, it's not going to work for another artist.
Not at all.
Yeah. So.
Not at all. And everyone has their individual story and individual way to whatever it is. And there you go.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. So how about this? Do you want to do another song?
Sure. I'll do another song.
Okay, so what song are we going to do this time?
We will try. We will do. I'm kind of torn.
Okay, is that okay? I'm merely she who records it for
Okay.
me.
I will try this one because there is absolutely no recording, studio recording of this song.
Oh,
So,
wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a semi-exclusive.
Okay.
Even though I have played it live.
Fair enough. And what is the name of this?
This one is called Vow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So let me kill the mics and get you ready, and then we will hear Vow by Crash Davidian. This is Pirate Cat Radio, KPCRLP 92.9 FM and K215GA 90.9 FM in Los Gatos, California, KMRTLP 101.9 FM in Santa Cruz, also at kpcr.org. Pirate Cat Radio, we want the airwaves. Dr. Dilworth, and you're listening to The Dark Party, and this week we're featuring 2 interviews. We're right in the middle of the one with Crash Davidian, and we've already heard some of his music. We're going to hear some more songs in a little bit, but first we need to talk, and we're going to listen to this in a moment. So in an hour's time, we're going to hear another interview with Postlooperish. So let's listen to this. Keep it on. The Signal Society is Pirate Cat Radio's listener-supported membership program for independent radio in the South Bay and Santa Cruz. Sustaining members with yearly or monthly donations power everything we do. Live shows, community events, your favorite Pirate Cat radio shows like the Jackalope Hour, Dark Party, and more, including new voices on the air. As a member, you will get a digital Signal Society card that has exclusive offers from local restaurants, cultural spots, and neighborhood shops, curated for Signal Society members, as well as Pirate Cat Radio perks. For more information and to join the Signal Society, go to kpcr.org/donate. Your steady support makes every show possible. Go to kpcr.org/donate to join the Signal Society and power Pirate Cat Radio today.
I took a vow with no complications. I took a vow to always be true. I took a vow and held no reservations, not to take score, to have and to hold. I took a vow and held my head way down, kept to myself, you took the easy way out. Your secret's safe, won't see the light of day, won't lead to suspicion, won't lead to doubt. And I don't know how much more I can take, this head-on collision on this runaway train, chasing the night, leading the day astray. Don't question the motive, don't question my faith, erase the recollection just to live another day, holding me tight, breathing my breath away. My skin crawls, the hair starts to stand up, chill down my spine every time you walk by. Heard every word and took it to my heart, feeling ripped, tearing me apart. A tragedy that may never see an end, or a conclusion starts to descend. Shot to the system, straight to my soul. There's no exit, fire in the hole. A silent face, a silent shout. Desire fades away, desire burns out. Chasing the night, leading the day astray. I say hello, you say goodbye. Same old story, the same old lie. Questioning faith, every day I kneel to pray. A silent faith, a silent shout. Desire fades away, desire burns out. Chasing the night, leading the day astray. I say hello, you say goodbye. The same old story, the same old lie. Questioning faith, every day I kneel to pray. Questioning faith, every day I kneel to pray. Questioning faith, every day I kneel to pray. All these down come crashing down. All these down come crashing down. There you go.
Yes, yes. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. I just like, again, your driving vocals, the way that your music is just driving and it's going forward, and what you're saying in it, man.
Right. Well, thank you.
Of course, you're welcome. Yeah. That was when I first heard your music. That's really what impressed me by it. So I was very happy that you wanted to come to the studio and you were coming up to this part of the world so we could do this. So this is awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure, and I'm always happy to get bands in here. I can have bigger bands and smaller bands, as you see the setup here, and
right.
So if you, just as a kind of a pitch and a shout out, if you're a band, a dark wave band, get in touch with me. I'm happy to have you on my show.
There you go.
There it is. So Vow, is this? Are you working up to putting together, creating a Crash Davidian? Because you kind of have an EP at this point. Are you working on putting together an EP, a full length? What are you putting together? What's your plan?
I have no idea. Like I said, I've been trying to get somebody to work with me. It's kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the game plan. The game plan has kind of changed.
Sure.
When I was with Monty, we had the whole thing of making an album, and we have all these songs. I still have those songs.
Sure.
Some of them are in demo format. Mm-hmm. So I would like to finish those songs because I think they sound good.
Yeah.
And I think they would add a lot more to what is already laid on the table.
Mm-hmm.
This year, I haven't really thought about doing any recordings. Like if things happen, then things happen.
Sure.
I really want to just focus playing live and have that being the main goal of it. Doing shows, playing different places. I mean, of course, releasing something,
Of course, yeah.
is key. But right now, it's just more playing live. Like I said, the playbook is all off. You could just play. You could just do whatever you want.
Absolutely.
It's the Wild West.
Well,
but eventually, I would like to record an album. But right now, it's not really my focus. But I do have some ideas for songs, and but I will cross that bridge when it comes.
Well, sure, and or you'll come to it because it'll just have to come. It'll just come to you, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing everything by ear, and if opportunities come up, then I'm not going to say no to them.
Absolutely.
I will jump into it and go on that train, see how far it goes, and go to the next train.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
So.
Just so you know, in the background, there's for those listening. Currently at the studio, we have no Wi-Fi. You may have been wondering why it keeps on saying that. There is no Wi-Fi right now.
Actually, that's the other member of Crash Davidian.
Oh yeah, what's their name?
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Oh well, where are they? Who knows?
Wi-Fi Comcast.
Yeah. Oh, the less we say about that, the better.
Okay.
But also thinking about, talking about performing live. How is it different to you performing live versus recording and performing in a studio? What is that? Is that a different experience for you?
Yeah. I love recording in the studio because there's so many things you can do. There's so many, you have this, whatever, how many plugins you have in the studio, on your computer, whatever.
Yeah.
It's endless, and you really can go down the rabbit hole. You could try anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
You could record anything you want. Mm-hmm. It's a very creative process. Vocally, you could do whatever you want. You could try things here. You could pan things to the left, to the right. You can have things layered underneath. I really love working in the studio.
Sure.
And I really I'm that kind of artist that's like, let's just do it and see what happens. Okay. Mm-hmm. There's no rule book.
No, not at all.
Live is, it's a different animal.
Oh, sure.
Because now you're more about portraying.
Yeah.
You want to know where you want the drama to happen. You want to know where the action's going to be, and you need to know how you want it to be presented. I'm in the process of, right now it's just me performing up there.
Yeah.
But so far people have been liking it because, I've always been inspired by a lot of frontmen who were very energetic.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And in the choice of songs that you gave me, I'm not sure we're going to be able to get to all of them because at least in the recording. Yeah. But you said Alison Moyet, David Bowie, Nine Inch Nails. I totally see their influence.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Alison Moyet. I've known about her, but mm-hmm. just in recent times, I've really delved into her catalog and just how she is as a person. And there's a lot of things I do relate to her. Mm-hmm. How she is as a person and how she is as a singer, and just being a artist in the music world, and how detached she was from a lot of the superstardom, and mm-hmm. how she could write songs, but she does need that partner to work with.
Like Yaz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like Yaz. Like she had Vince Clarke.
Yes.
And then when it came to her first album, she had I'm forgetting their names, but they recorded the Spandau Ballet album.
Oh, no, exactly.
Swain and Jolly, I think it's what it is.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And then, then the second record, she worked with Jimmy Iovine, and mm-hmm. And she had this whole just rocky road type of thing, and sure. She was very detached, and she was very separate, and nobody got her. Mm-hmm. Nobody understood what she was trying to do. Nobody wanted to take a chance, and I do kind of feel that way at times. Bowie, because he just keeps moving forward as an artist, never repeats himself twice, changes his look, his music, his style, everything. And mm-hmm. And Nine Inch Nails, because that was one of the first industrial bands I ever heard.
There it is. Sure.
Much like a lot of people.
Oh, same. I'm a Bowie girl, and I remember the first time, in fact, it was my high school girlfriend. She said, "Oh, listen to this song, Jackie," and I was like, whoa, this is wild. I love it. This is Heard, right? Yeah. And then it was awesome. Yeah. So went from there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, performing live, always, I like Iggy Pop, Axl mm-hmm. Rose, Dave mm-hmm. Gahan, mm-hmm. Ogre, it just giving that kind of primal, energetic performance mm-hmm. is what I do. And I just want to transfer that energy out to the audience and just make them, portray the music right.
And it does come out. I mean,
Yeah.
just even, and of course I'm sitting across the board from you. It really does come out,
Yeah.
and you're a very dynamic performer. I see that. I see
Even
that.
though I'm just sitting here in a chair.
Yeah, for real. And I've made some pictures, and I'll
Okay.
send them to you. But yeah, it's interesting.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to do another song here?
Yeah, I will do another song.
Okay. So what is this song we're gonna do?
This song is called "I Still See You," which is actually a song that I wrote when I was doing the dramedy. And this is a remixed version of it.
Okay.
I did release a remix EP for my stuff, and this is one of the remix that I did, and probably my first time dealing with electronic music.
Cool.
So I just said, you know what, I'm just going to perform it in Crash Davidian because I think it's a good song, and it fits right in.
Okay. Cool. So let's listen. I'm gonna kill the mics.
Don't know what's going on. Drowning in self-hate, but I keep going on. I never thought that this would last this long. A piece of me still holds on. Stuck in this destructive space. I wish I could just throw it all away. 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 I keep calling your name. Your face burning my mind. I throw it on the wall, but I still see you. I could never forget how your voice was a dagger, stabbing my heart. Your words didn't sting. Rolling on the floor, my swagger turned to a stagger. Will I ever forget? Will I ever forgive you? I keep calling your name. Your face burning my mind. I throw it on the wall, but I still see you. Yeah. She's gonna break on through. She's beaming black and blue. I wish I could erase. There's nothing I can do. I'm eating out of her hand, the hand that holds me down. Keep it and living inside. Keep her close to my mind. I keep calling your name. Your face burning my mind. I throw it on the wall, but I still see you. I keep calling your name. Your face burning my mind. I throw it on the wall, but I still see you. You and I, our love's all ready to blow. And you and I, our lives are ready to blow. And you and I, our lives are ready to blow. And you and I, our lives are ready to blow. And you and I, our lives are ready to blow. And you and I, our lives are ready to blow. And you and I, our lives are ready to blow. And you and I, our lives are ready to blow.
Wow, yeah, you got a set of lungs on you, man. Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty easy right now because
Sure.
one, I'm sitting down and I'm not performing.
That's well, but you're performing. Hey,
Yeah, but I would be if you come out to the Tuesday, July 29th at the Knockout in San Francisco, you'll see.
oh no, for
You
real.
will see.
Oh, for real. Me and Julie, we're gonna be there for real.
Awesome.
In fact, that is one of the next things I was gonna ask. So, your upcoming shows and events
Oh, okay. The aforementioned, Friday, July 25th in San Luis Obispo at the Eclectic Entertainment. I hope I'm getting that venue correct.
Okay.
That one's going to be with the Hammer Party, Tragic Visions, and
Yeah.
Fear Artifice.
Nice.
Yeah, I think both of those bands are from Fresno, and I have played with Tragic Visions before, and they're great.
I've heard of them before.
They put a really good performance on. Then Tuesday, July 29th, San Francisco at the Knockout.
Yeah.
I'll be with the Tunnel, Violator, and Black Bibles.
Yeah.
And then in LA, it's going to be August 22nd, I believe, at the Monty Bar for the Club Nevermore night that they have there. It's going to be Friday, August 22nd.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have more, but October for sure is going to be the Pacific Northwest tour. I have Eugene, Portland, and Seattle.
Okay, not Bend though. I know some folks up who do the goth show in Bend, if you know them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to maybe get something in Bend, but it just depends on scheduling and where it falls on the calendar. You know,
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
I know they do it. I think toward the beginning of the month. So I don't know.
Yeah,
but they're kind of friends. I know who they are. They're
Yeah,
cool.
is it called like Catacombs or something?
Yeah, the Catacombs. Yeah.
I talked to what's that? Regal Nonchalant. Is that
Regal
the one?
Nonchalant. I played them before. They're cool.
Yeah. I've talked to two of their members.
Yes.
And hopefully we something could work out. But I have no idea how Bend is like as a city. I've seen the venues. But
There's
I have
beer.
There's beer. Yeah, there's beer.
That I know, really.
That is very true. There's beer there. But I'll figure something out. Maybe, hopefully I could get another San Francisco show in October because then I could go boom, boom, boom.
That would make a lot of sense, and it would help sustain. Again, when you see a touring show, help out the artist, buy some merch.
Yeah.
Just help us out because we want to keep the music going. We want to keep this community happening because otherwise, it's not.
Yeah. No, you're completely right about that.
Yeah. Okay, so basically that's where we can find you live.
Yeah.
Where are we going to be able to find you online?
Online, if you put in linktree.com /Davidian, I think that's how it is. You could get all my links there. But if you don't want to do that, there's crashdavidian.bandcamp.com. That's where you can buy the music.
Yeah.
There is the Instagram, which is just at @Davidian.
Sure is.
That's about it. The LinkedIn, though, if you click there, you could see some live footage from that people have posted, and I've connected the links there on the Linktree. So try and go to that, and you'll get everything from there. Linktree.com /Davidian. I don't know how because I never really promote that.
Of course, but that's how people to find you. So you're
And
just
Spotify, and you can find me on Spotify.
Okay, so just Spotify, not Apple Music or any other places.
I'm sure I put Apple Music and Amazon, but I do know definitely Spotify.
Fair enough.
Because that's the one I use.
No, I understand.
Yeah,
I understand. Me, I like to be able to buy my music, and I like better quality, so I'm an Apple girl. No offense.
Okay.
But it is what it is.
Yeah,
It is what it is. Okay, so I really enjoyed you coming in this afternoon and coming and doing this. And
Yeah, it was great. Thank you.
oh, thank you for doing it. And maybe when you come back by the Bay or do your big show in October, we can maybe do something again. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely. I'd be totally into that again if time manages well. We
Of
could do
course.
it, yeah.
Now we'll figure it out. So
Yeah.
until then, we will figure it out. And thank you for being on the Dark Party.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay.
All right.
Hello, this is the Dark Party, and I am Dr. Dilworth, you're not. And I hope you enjoyed last hour's interview with Crash Davidian. Really good, really good. Check him out. And if you happen to be in San Francisco on July 29th, he's going to be there. Go check it out. It's going to be a great show. He's an amazing performer and a great singer. And I'm really happy that I had him in the studio here. Talking about another person I was very happy to have, this is Postlooperish. In the next hour, we're going to be talking to him and listening to some music and collaborations he's done with Shades of Violet, other stuff. It's going to be really great and wonderful. I just want to say, in an hour on most of these stations, you're going to be hearing Art Bell, Somewhere in Time. Don't know what he's going to be talking about, but it's going to be creepy and interesting, fascinating, unexpected, and wonderful. So that's in about an hour's time on most of these stations. Art Bell, Somewhere in Time. First, we have that interview with Postlooperish. Let's get to it. Kick it, Fiona. This is Pirate Cat Radio, KPCRLP 92.9 FM and K215GA 90.9 FM in Los Gatos, California, KMRT-LP 101.9 FM in Santa Cruz, also at kpcr.org. Pirate Cat Radio, we want the airwaves. KPCR thanks Sophie's Dog Walking for supporting the Signal Society. Members get a free 30-minute walk with the purchase of 2. Join today at kpcr.org/join. I am here with whom?
You got Jeremy with, I guess AKA Postlooperish.
Postlooperish. And you make some really awesome music, and you have hordes of music. You have your musical Fort Knox, from what I understand.
Yeah, there does appear to be quite a bit. Background in music, I started pretty early teens, back in the early 80s, so dating myself. But, growing up with all that great music from the 80s and 90s, and I really liked a lot of a variety of it. My first actual cassette was The Cure, Head on the Door, but I loved the grunge. I loved the hair metal. I just loved music and, played guitar and different instruments growing up and in a lot of bands. And you just really loved the expression, the ability to express through music has been really important to me. And then, getting a little bit older, took a diversion, didn't really pick it up for many years, got back into it 2016 or 17, like that. And yeah, it's just been an explosion of, you're right, there's a lot of it. On my Bandcamp, it's quite embarrassing. I actually had to go through a clean out because I had released so much stuff on Spotify. It was giving me anxiety. So I kind of cleaned it out and took some stuff off and left some stuff on. But yeah, for sure, it's something that I really have a passion for sure.
Oh, very much so. In fact, how about this? Why don't I ask you? This is what's always intimidating to me sometimes when I see an artist, a musician, a band with a bunch of releases. Like, they've been they're either really prolific or they've been here since the dawn of time making music. So, what would be a good introduction song place to get into the world of Postlooperish? What should we hear first?
That's a great question. It's the music of and that's really a solo thing that I'm just doing on my own. I mean, I don't even when I came up with that name, I first got on Instagram in 2021. I just wanted to share kind of what I was doing. I was already doing it. So that name was in the moment. It was like post for maybe post punk. Looper was really, I had a loop pedal and I meant to basically make loops and sing to them, but that never actually happened. And as I was learning how to record and things like that, I just kind of abandoned that idea. Of course, I already put it on Instagram. It'll forever be,
Yeah.
And then Ish was always, like I said before, I just really love a pretty wide variety of music, or under the umbrella of alternative rock, I would say. And so, yeah, I just kind of chucked that name on. I started just sharing my music, and there's been a wide variety of tries and different sort of combinations and vibes and things like that over the past few years. But if I were to pick one album, I think it's the one that you picked up, and I appreciate it, which is
Yeah.
Sacred Text.
Yeah.
Sacred Text is kind of like the high water mark, and it's not that there hasn't been great songs after that or before, but that's like in the essence of kind of what I like to hear. And when I make music, I'm not really looking to other sounds and bands and stuff like that. Although I do, there's so much great music out there. I just make
Truly.
the sounds that I like to hear, and it's pretty clear from the 80s and 90s and stuff. Those are the sounds that are coming out. But I would start with Sacred Text and go from there.
Okay, how about we listen to Secret Text and go from there, like you said.
Love it.
Okay.
I started life
All right, I am not the clouds, I am the sky. But I'm Dr. Dilworth, and this is Jeremy of Postlooperish.
So yeah, I appreciate you playing that. That's the first track on the album of Sacred Text, which was put out in early 2023, I think, and I think
Yes.
that's probably my favorite song on the album. It's a very long title. It's a whole sentence, and it's really about just fragmented ideas from youth and growing up, and it's kind of, it's got some darker imagery, but it's really about hope. And the whole idea is that, we are the sky, as in we are the entire, I guess, consciousness, if you think about it that way. The clouds are just passing, right? So all those gray clouds, as things happen to us in our life, good things and bad things, those are just passing objects, and not to attach to them, because it's always one basic consciousness as we go through this experience. So a little existential there, but that's it. And it's a lot of my music is kind of cryptic, a little bit poetic, I guess. Sometimes it's not clear, and it's really for the listener. And I always appreciate bands growing up that had that kind of mentality where their lyrics were a little bit open. So whatever the listener wants to take from that, that's what they get out of it. So that's how it's kind of framed in that song and many other songs on Sacred Text.
In fact, talking about, I know you were kind of mentioning that they're influences, but it's not like you're not a slave to them, or at least you're not like bound to your influences. You mentioned the Chameleons and the Cure. What's a track by, say, the Cure or the Chameleons you'd like to hear right now?
Oh, how about The Twilight Garden, which is a
Oh
B-side
yeah.
off of
Mm-hmm.
Wish. And,
Mm-hmm.
I love The Cure. You can hear The Cure, obviously, in my
Yeah.
music. Huge influences, but that is all those B-sides, and especially that song off of Wish's B-sides, was probably my favorite Cure song. So, yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful choice. Let's play it. Let's listen to it now. Okay, yeah. A couple of years ago, I had to do like a Cure night, and I really just had to listen to basically everything of the Cure. And a lot of the B-sides are really amazing, and that one especially is lovely. So that was a great choice. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Great song, great band.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So talking about songs and bands, so Postlooperish is a single project just with you, right?
Yeah, so again, been playing guitar many years.
Mm-hmm.
I've dabbled a little bit and, I had a bass and drums and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not very proficient at it. As I got, into, around 2016, 2017, I really wanted to
Mm-hmm.
focus on it more. And so, yeah, I bought a bunch of equipment. I had a lot of trial and error. Of course, everybody
Mm-hmm.
wants to sell you everything and
That's
say you
true.
need this and that. But I started from scratch and I got drums and I got bass and I got keyboards and I taught myself, or shored up my understanding of those instruments. And really,
Mm-hmm.
the music that I make is guitar driven anyways, so those are
Yes.
supporting elements. But yeah, over time, with some trial and error, and I obviously do spend a considerable amount of time and effort, and it's not, it's for joy. I like to do
Yes.
it, and that's the only really reason. So yeah, I do everything myself. I taught myself how to mix, just like many other musicians out there have. It's been again trial and error, and there's a lot of error, but eventually, if you stick with it, eventually you kind of get better at it. And yeah, ultimately, it's just about that expression. So the ability to make all that on your own, and I have gone through other people too and paid people
Mm-hmm.
to do it, and that's fine. But nobody will ever, be serious about your music other than you. Like you're the most important person. So if you invest, in my opinion, if you invest the time into learning all about the different things and elements of making the music and mixing and mastering, it's the best outcome long term.
Sure.
So
And the way that I know about you, of course, is through Melanie and Shades of Violet. How did that connection happen, and how how, how has it
yeah,
grown since it started?
well, it's grown a lot. So, when I first jumped on Instagram, again, my only purpose was just to share the music I was making almost as a log because it was coming out so fast. I wanted to have some place where I could just upload it and enjoy it myself. And I started to make the videos. Again, growing up in the 80s and 90s, MTV was the channel,
It
and I
sure was.
missed those days, and I missed that, and I missed those quirky 80s videos, and so it's just really to amuse myself, and I'm glad that people also enjoyed it too. Melanie was one of those people. There was just like, your music sounds so familiar, but yet, it's different. And she was asking me at first, who is that? Like, what are the songs? I said, well, it's mine. It's, I'm making this music. And so her and a couple other Instagram friends got together and, just shared music and things like that. And, Melanie said, I like to sing. I said, you should try to sing. And I said, why don't you sing backup a little bit on one of my songs? We'll just give it a shot. And, she bought a microphone. We actually never met each other. I think she lives in Virginia, but
Yes.
she did a couple of backup vocals for me, and it sounded really good. So it's just it's a pleasure project of, Shades of Violet is a little bit more alt rock,
Hmm.
shoegazy, that kind of thing,
That's
and that's
true.
stuff that she really loves too.
Yes.
She loves Film School. She loves,
Hmm.
all those bands that are, very ethereal and have a very strong bass. So yeah, I just started making some songs. I said, hey, do you want to try to sing on this? And she's like, yeah. And to just go back and forth, through email, and it really worked out. And I think she's got such a great voice, and her
She does.
lyrics are so high vibe, and she's always got like a message to everything, and I really appreciate that. I've collaborated with a lot of people, but definitely, we've collaborated the most amount of songs. We've got two full albums out, and then we've got a couple, a super single, as I would call it, with a couple
Hmm.
songs. And yeah, it's been a great experience in general, and we're excited to do more. Actually, we just put out a cover song, our first cover song of The Police, Invisible Sun, which
Oh
was her
yeah.
idea. She messaged me one day. She's like, "Hey, I think we should do a cover song." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, we can probably do that." Don't really do a lot of cover songs, but there's nothing wrong with it. I wanted just to make it our own. I wanted to make the Shade sound, but I wanted to be a little bit true to the song as well. And so, when we did it, it definitely sounds like, we performed that song, and she did a great job in the lyrics. So that's the newest release as of a couple weeks ago, and getting a lot of positive feedback from that.
So how about this? Why don't we listen to that and then go from there? Because I haven't played it on Dark Party yet, so that's what we're going to do.
Perfect.
This is Dr. Dilworth, and you're listening to The Dark Party. We're about halfway through our interview with Postlooperish, and in a half hour, we're going to be hearing Art Bell, Somewhere in Time, on most of these stations. So that's what's going to be happening next. And first, before we go back to our interview with Postlooperish, I want you to listen to this. Kick it, Fiona. The Police, though seems like a surprising choice to me because they're more pop music maybe than alternative or post punk or something like that. That was surprising to me, but I think you really did make it your own. I think it was an interesting choice, and you did make it your own.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I agree. The Police is definitely, back in I think this was 81 or 82. I would say back then the Police were probably a little bit of pop and maybe a little post-punk, definitely a punky energy, especially the early 80s. But, Mel and myself and a lot of people really loved a lot of music from the 80s and 90s, and that's where a lot of variety was. Not so much anymore. I mean, all the genres are still there, but things are getting a little bit pigeonholed in later years now. But yeah, she was just like, I don't know, I just feel like Invisible Sun and The Message. I said, I love the Police. I mean, what a power pop trio they are.
Oh, for
I
real.
said, let's do it. I said, let's try it. And now that forced me, which doesn't really happen in my own music, and definitely doesn't happen in Shades either, where I had to like really sit down and learn the song, because like my creative process is very free flowing, and whatever comes out, that's what the song is. So it forced me to be more disciplined, and it definitely took a little bit more time. I'm usually pretty quick, but I wanted to get it right. And I don't like it when bands kind of do a pseudo cover where they kind of get close enough. So I wanted to do things that were deliberately outside, like the guitar solos and stuff like that. But I still wanted to like hit the right notes and things like that, and especially the drums. Oh my God! I mean, what's his name? Stuart Copeland is so good, and it seems simple, but
No, it
it's
isn't.
not.
No, it's
It's
not.
not at all. And I did the first pass, a funny thing, and sent it to Mel, and she's like, "Well, it sounds pretty good, but I don't know about those drum hits. It's got the cymbal accents." I'm like, "All right, I'm going to go back. I'm going to try it again," and eventually we got it. But it was a good experience for sure.
What's your process? What's your musical process? Do you write it down? Do you compose it? Or is it just kind of you record it and go from there? Because I did ask Melanie in the interview if you had to, let's say you were going to have other people play your music, how could they do that? Say for like a live show. What's your
Yeah,
process?
that's a good question. People have asked us to, myself and Shades of Violet and other collabs, when are you guys going to play live? I mean, it's just a matter of the internet's great now because you can really collaborate with anyone, and it really opens it up, which is fantastic.
True.
The problem with bands and stuff is you really have to have those people local to you, and it's surprisingly tough to find people exactly kind of with your vibe. I mean, even with general rock music or whatever, everyone's got their idea of kind of like what they want to do or what bands they'd like to sound like. So it just hasn't, I don't want to, I would definitely play in a band if there were available people, but it's more important for me to just write music and express myself. So my process really very free flowing. I mean, whatever, I've been playing music for decades. Once I figured out how to get the mixing manipulated and all that stuff. I just honestly, I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it at all. I just sit down, I play the instruments, whatever comes out, I honestly record in the moment. I rarely ever go backwards. I don't go back the next day and say, well, I'd rather kind of maybe play this part or that part. Honestly, whatever comes out in that moment, that's the song. I can definitely tweak it after, a little mix and stuff. But in terms of like composing it and all the elements, that's done in the moment. And yeah, it's worked out pretty good for me. I don't really think too much about it. I just want to play sounds that I like to hear. And I think that's probably part of the there's so much of it because it's not really it's when you're just kind of recording what you're playing, it's just a matter of time where it just builds up and builds up. And I want to say I agree with you, Jackie. It is very intimidating. That's why I cleaned up my my streaming because it was just too much to look at, and I feel bad for anybody who stumbles on my Bandcamp page, because where do you start? And that's probably keeping some folks away from trying it, because if you see that much, you're like, I don't really have time for this today. The other thing is, Postlooperish, again, was never really supposed to be any sort of serious tag, and so I think now when people read that and they see the imagery, it's just like a little confusing. So maybe that's, a reason maybe people pass it by, is it's just, not necessarily what you expect, but it works for me. And at least it's unique. I think everybody
very
just
much
needs
so.
to be authentic. Yeah. And just be who you are, and don't worry about trying to fit into, I guess I should have called it, Dark Spooky Bats or something like that to fit in a little bit better. But I think when people do listen to it, and if they do like that kind of music, which is, more sort of darker post-punk, not all of it, but a lot of it, then if they get it, that kind of thing.
In fact, another influence that you mentioned was the Chameleons. I don't know if you're aware, you may be, that they have a new album coming out and they're touring. So that's exciting.
Yeah, I saw that. Actually, I just saw that
Yeah.
the other day. I think they
Yeah.
released a single, so that's great.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Well, what's your favorite Chameleons track? Because there are, in the US at least, I haven't come across a whole lot of people who know the Chameleons, which is a shame. They're such a great band.
They are, and I think it's Second Skin on the first album is a great track.
Okay, and I think
Yeah.
that's on the list. So let's dig in right now.
All right.
This is Pirate Cat Radio, KPCRLP 92.9 FM and K215GA 90.9 FM in Los Gatos, California, KMRT-LP 101.9 FM in Santa Cruz, also at kpcr.org. Pirate Cat Radio, we want the airwaves. I hear tones of that and The Cure and all that kind of post-punk stuff in your music, and it's really a treat to listen to, and it's very cool.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. Apart from working with Melanie doing Shades of Violet, are there any other projects you're doing with other people or things you're doing with other people?
Yeah, I've collabed with a few people. Pleasure Policy, Chris, who's out of California, does a lot of really great industrial music. That was a very early on collaboration. I've also collabed with, I'm going to forget probably some of these people, but another big one that we put out of quite a few songs was with Hex Forms. I don't know if you are aware of Hex Forms. He's got a good presence on IG. His name's Josh. Similar, I think he's also in Virginia, like Mel. And so Josh has got more of the, I would say maybe the more recognized dark wave sound and that kind of thing, where my sound is a little bit more on the like genuine 80s side, where the I'm still using those sounds, where his is a little bit more modern. So that's a good mix. We've made, gosh, I think we've made like 5-7 songs. They've actually been done pretty well. So with his sort of modern sort of dark wave sound, and then my vocals, which tend to be a little bit more alt. It's not necessarily, I'm not doing mugging Dracula vocals or anything like that, but the combination of those differences actually make for a pretty cool sort of dark wave, sort of alt dark wave, if you will. And to that point, we've done, let's see, 3 collabs. We're working on a new one now for maybe the end of the year. And we also put out a cassette tape under Violet Hour Transmissions, which is a great little label. They've got a ton, just like a lot of cassettes and records from not very well-known bands, which I really appreciate their support. And so definitely check them out. But we'll continue for sure with me and Josh's collab. And but I do like to do a little bit with other people too. I think it's interesting. I always like to learn from others too. Another collab I did was with James and Kevin, also from Pain in the Ass, and I'm going to slaughter Kevin's moniker, but I think it's Basufaralk. That's terrible. I'm sorry, Kevin, if you're listening.
Oh yeah,
2 great musicians.
Yeah. I know exactly. Yeah. I need to. I've wanted to talk to him too. He's down. He's.
You have to talk to Kevin. First, one of the.
I know exactly who he is.
I've ever met, really, and virtually, but in real life too. Very genuine person, super great musician. James and Kevin, really, really great musicians. Very sort of different vibes, but then we threw my vibe in there too, to sing and play a little guitar, and it was we did a song called Another Night that did pretty well as well. So yeah, I like a little bit of both, and when I get tired of one style, or I'll go back to another and switch back and forth.
So that was Best of Rock Another Night?
Yes, yep. That was out probably 2 years ago, but yeah, great collab with them.
I know exactly. Yeah. I didn't realize that was you. That's cool. All right.
Yeah.
Why don't we listen to that? Because let's do that.
Let's do it.
Tough spot. I didn't know if it would work out to take a much needed break from running through the spaces in between.
it's a good
Well,
one.
it genuinely is, and he's Kevin's an awesome guy, and wow, very generous, very very cool, and very 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 cool. I mean, I
Yeah.
keep on saying that very cool, so I'll edit all those very cools out.
Well, it's very
That's not
accurate.
very cool.
It's very accurate. Yeah.
So, what are your other than just continuing to do what you're doing? What are your future plans? What are you doing?
Yeah, well, certainly continuing. I think the thing I'm doing differently this year is I'm not sharing as much on streaming.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, it's just, it's hard to keep up with. Again, saying, as people look at that sort of catalog that might dissuade them. So I'm just being very selective about the
Hmm.
streaming now. So I did release something. I did release this year a song called Crimson Blue with Josh, and then I did release a 3-track EP called Liminal Spaces, just exploring the ideas around uneasiness and things that you know look familiar but aren't have a vibe of mystery or not being familiar. And then I like a lot of contrast,
Sure.
metaphors and things like that. So yeah, so I think I'll share another EP or album towards the end of the year, but the main difference is I've still continued just pulling back a little bit on the releases. I mean, generally, I'll probably write about 150 or so songs a year, and that's with Shades as
Wow.
well and other
Yeah.
collabs. Yeah, it's a lot, but I only sing on maybe 15% of them or 20. So I'll write the whole song out. I'll completely, get the whole production done and mastered, and then I just go through them and just try to pick out the vibe that I'm looking for at that time. Yeah, I just collect them. I actually collect them on a private album on Bandcamp. So there's just the as much as there is on Bandcamp. Just think of it as like, that's only 20% of the songs that I make.
Tip
Maybe
of the
someday I'll
iceberg.
release them all and people will be like, what the heck is going on with this guy? But I'll share them
And,
all
uh,
at some point.
and that's what Melanie's talking about, where she kind of listens through and just kind of goes through and say, "Ah, this one, let's do this
Yeah, and it's pretty common with people, listening to interviews of
one." Hmm.
musicians and stuff like that. I mean, when people go into their album cycle or
Hmm.
whatnot, it's not uncommon for them to write 20, 30 songs. If that's
Sure.
kind of their main thing, I mean, it's definitely possible. And then you just have to
Hmm.
go through. And I try to keep the vibes together on releases. I mean, you can put whatever you want out, but it's somewhat confusing if you have like too much variety. So I
That is
try
true.
the like liminal spaces is a good, yeah, it's a good example. Like they're all similar tones, they're all similar content, things like that. So yeah, the next one will be probably fall or late summer, and then Shades, where we've already started writing for the third album as soon as we released the second, which was a couple months ago.
Yes.
And we've already got probably, 15, 18 in the can, just kind of waiting for Mel to sift through them and sing on the ones she wants to. And then eventually when they build up enough, we'll take a look and we'll say, okay, I think these are a good set. And that usually takes us about like 4 months or 5 months. That's what it's been.
Hmm.
So yeah, basically in short, the end of the year, you'll see another album from me, another album from
Hmm.
Shades, and like I said, probably some more songs from Josh as well. So lots of tunes to sift through the next couple months.
Hey, that's great. Well, it's great for you, and it's great for us as listeners, and enjoys the good music. So, thank you. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where can we find you online to listen to all of this? What's the best place to look for you?
So, I'm on streaming. I think I'm on most streaming, but YouTube and Spotify. If you
Hmm.
really want to dig in and you have a little bit of time to sift through and kind of skip through stuff, Bandcamp's the home place for sure. I don't even know how much is on there, but it's like you have to literally scroll. So maybe
It
take
is
an
true.
afternoon if people are interested and go through that. And then Instagram is really kind of home base too. And again, I just
Hmm.
like to post stuff because I'm amused by the videos myself. So yeah, hit me up on Instagram and leave a comment and leave a like. And that's where I work. I say I just work here. Like
Fair
that's
enough.
where it is.
So to be clear, that's Postlooperish, Postlooperish, correct?
Got it. You got it. Correct.
There you go. I always like to make sure people know, who they're looking for and what they're doing, because sometimes people say things, oh, hush,
Right.
Huh?
No, I appreciate it.
You know what I mean.
What
There's a
was
little
that?
bit of see. I'm using visual humor on the radio, but you know what I'm doing, and I'm doing it. But there you go. So anyway, I appreciate your time, especially talking with me this morning, and we'll go from there. So thank you, and I'll be in touch.
Thanks, Jackie. It was a lot of fun, and like I
Yeah,
said, I really love your show, your multiple shows, and keep up the good work. And
thank you.
maybe the next time I have an album release, we'll talk again.
Oh, totally. I'd love to do that. You're always welcome.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I'll talk to you soon, man. Bye.
Bye.
Shocking signs at the end of the age. 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 The message you're about to hear. Shocking signs at the end of the age. Shocking signs at the end of the age. Shocking signs at the end of the age.
All the rapture, past, present, future. All the rapture, past, present, future. For something drastic to happen soon. The doomsday clock, which is now set, destroy us soon. Some call it the end of the world.
Stand in line of the dosage. Pressure point, deep psychosis. Building up for heavy losses. Never mind what the cost is. Can I talk you down before your darkness comes around? We all fall for a spell. I hope you found what you were looking for. It's a dead giveaway. We're doomed for Monday. The cold sun smiles as we decay. It's a dead giveaway. We're doomed for Monday. It's a dead giveaway. We're doomed for Monday. The cold sun smiles as we decay. It's a dead giveaway.
He left as a spirit, return as a spirit, left in a body, return in a body. He left as a spirit, return as a spirit, left in a body, return in a body. Behold my hands and my feet. Resurrection, change new body. Resurrection, change new body. Resurrection, change new body. Resurrection.
There's some bounds up and question marks buried in the past. Futures in the cards. Naked desolation, neglected and astray. Too many warning. It's all to blame. It's a dead giveaway. We're doomed for Monday. The cold sun smiles as we decay. It's a dead giveaway.
Never known anything like it. And from that hour until this, strange things have been taking place. Strange things. Strange things have been taking place. Strange things have been taking place. After the dead, for the dead rise first. Come after the dead. Come after the dead. Come after the dead. The soul does not sleep in that body till the resurrection. The body without the spirit is dead. The body without the spirit is dead. Behold, I show you a mystery. The dead shall be raised, incorruptible. What part? The only part that's in the ground. The body, the body, the body, the body, the body, the body.
X-rayed image etched in my skin. In this consecration, a statue born of sin. Cut your finger, last glance stolen. Don't get lost in a war. You can never win. It's a dead giveaway. We're doomed for Monday. The cold sun smiles as we decay. It's a dead giveaway. We're doomed for Monday. It's a dead giveaway. It's a dead giveaway. It's a dead giveaway. We're doomed for Monday.
Miss the horrible world catastrophe.
Well, that's it for this Dark Party. I hope you enjoyed our 2 interviews with Crash Davidian, Doug of Crash Davidian, and Jeremy, who is Postlooperish. You know where to find them online, and go from there. Next time on Dark Party, we're going to have a regular show with 2 mixes of the finest undead, new, and old dark wave, post-punk, industrial, shoegaze, experimental music you can dance to in the world. The finest. So we're going to get to that. And in mere moments, we will hear Art Bell, Somewhere in Time. So I'll see you next week, and I'll maybe see you for the Jackalope Hour soon. Bye.
From the high desert and the great American Southwest, I bid you all good evening or good morning, depending on, of course, upon your time zone. Welcome to another edition of Coast to Coast AM live talk radio throughout the nighttime on the CBC Radio Network. I'm Art Bell, and I told you I was working on something, and I've got a surprise coming up for you in just a moment.